ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
वेदविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सह वीर्यं करवावहै।
सह वीर्यं करवावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं।
ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमो उपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः।
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
श्री भगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनां न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यस्सनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठत्य कर्म कृत कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते। We have seen two lifestyles to achieve a goal, become a to realize who am I. Otherwise, we can say we can know our real nature, but lifestyles are different, but goal is same. That Bhagavan says in third verse, and after third verse, 4, 5, and 6, Bhagavan is praising karma, and Bhagavan says, without not doing any karma, person cannot gain Naishkarmyam. The meaning of Naishkarmyam means moksha. Na ashnute, cannot gain. By mere giving up karma, by not performing any karma, person cannot gain Naishkarmya. At the state of a mind, a person who knows I am akarta, abhokta, that cannot be achieved. And nacha sannyasana deva, by taking sannyasa only, siddhim na samadhi gacchati. Person cannot gain. Again, here siddhim means moksha, cannot understand. Samadhi gacchati, cannot gain. And in next verse, Bhagavan has said, kashchidapi, even if a single person, anyone, the meaning of kashchit means anyone, even for second, even for moment, akarma krut na tishtati. A person, even for a moment, cannot stand, cannot remain without doing any karma. And why? Bhagavan says, sarvaha, all being in this world, avashaha karma karyate, helplessly they are keep on doing karma. Why? That's why it says prakrute jehi gunehi, because of gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, which are born out of prakriti. That guna impelled us for doing different type of activity. And yesterday I have told you that we are mixture of two things. One is says Atma and another says Anatma. Atma means consciousness, and Anatma, what we say, is called Prakriti. Maya, whatever say, but Anatma, we can say it is Anatma. Never keep doing anything. It cannot stand. It keep on changing, being limited in nature. Anatma, being all-pervading, need not to do anything, while Anatma is being limited, keep on changing. This Atma is one, Anatma are many, because three gunas, and being three gunas, being Anatma, they are keep on doing different type of karma. And this part of our body which keep on going to do different type of karma. That's why Bhagavan says, akarma krut na tishtati. Even waking, all level, manasa, vacha and kaik, we are doing different type of karma. At the state of dream, through mind, we are doing different type of activity. And when we are going to sleep, unknowingly, without knowing us, our whole physiological systems, we keep on going. That's why Bhagavan says, akarma krut na tishtati. Nobody can live, can stand, remain without doing anything, because that our guna impelled us to do different type of activities. And again, Bhagavan says in 6th verse, a person is called hypocrisy also. A person, one who is hypocrite, what that person does, ya aste, one who sits, how that person sits, karma indriyani sanyamya, having controlled one's own organs of actions. And what they do, what that person does, manasasmaran, they starts remembering, visualizing through mind, by mind. And what they are remembering, indriyarthan, the sense object which are available in the world, they are thinking by mind. That person is called vimudhatma. That person is called deluded person. And the activity, what that person is doing, remembering sense object in one's mind, is called mithyachara, wrong conduct, false conduct, otherwise is a split personality. Mithyachara sauchyate. It is called mithyachara, wrong conduct. It is better to remain in active life and do different type of perform different types of activity that Bhagavan has said up to 6th verse. And now 7th verse, Bhagavan has says, yahatu yastvindriyani, but yaha tu. Whereas whenever tu come, no, it is now topic has been changed. Tu, whereas, on the contradictory, yaha tu, a person who indriyani, sense organ, manasa niyamya, having controlled all sense organ by mind, and arabhate, it starts, it begins. What they begins? Karma yoga. It begins karma yoga. How that person begins karma yoga? So karma indriyehi, through organs of action. In previous verse, they are not doing through karma indriya, but starts thinking this is opposite. They kept, that person has controlled their own sense organ, and then karma indriyehi karma yogam arabhate. He begins, takes karma yoga through, with the help of the organs of action. And how they start? Asaktaha, without any attachment. Asaktaha saha vishishyate. That person is far superior. It's much superior than one who is sitting idle, lazy. Now we have to see that verse. That we have seen everything. Mithyachara sauchyate. And we can say from here, Bhagavan has introduced this word, Karma Yoga. In 2nd chapter, Karmani Adhikarahate, Yoga Karma Sukaushalam, and then Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. There are many, but Bhagavan has never used this word, Karma Yoga. It has been used first time here, first and last. That's why the name of this chapter is Karma Yoga, because whole theory, we can say, has been introduced by Bhagavan in this verse. And this whole chapter is dedicated to how to do karma. That's why the name of this chapter is also Karma Yoga. And what is they say, this is written, Tu means whereas, yaha means any one person, indriyani manasa sanyamya, having control all sense organ through mind, and karme indriyehi karma yogam arabhate. It begins, it takes karma yogam with through karma indriya, asakta hasan. I forgot here, but it should write asakta because it's given in verse. Without any attachment, asakta hasan, that person is vishishyate. It is far superior, far better than that person. Now, karma yogam, first time it is introduced. So why Bhagwan has Bhagwan has initiated, introduced this karma yoga, because our whole life is nothing but based on karma only. In karma yoga, I always says there is a two part. One is karma, and another part of karma yoga is yoga. Karma plus yoga . Here the karma means two part, how to perform karma, and second part, how to receive the result of our action. Both will come in this karma part only. And second part is yoga. The meaning of yoga means attitude. Attitude, how to perform karma, and attitude, how to receive the result of karma. It's called yoga. Here, the meaning of yoga is not chapter. The meaning of yoga is not here to yogasana, but here the meaning of yoga is simple attitude. How to do karma, that attitude. Now when karma comes, so what are the karmas? Which type of karma? So we have seen only three type of karma is available in whole Jagat. One is called, we know, is Satvika karma. Another is called Rajasika karma. And third one is called Tamasa karma. Which karma we can tell is a Satvika. So it's given in our Shastra, in which karma beneficiaries are more number of people. In Satvik karma, a person give more and take less. That all karmas are called Satvika karma. And by performing Satvika karma, what will happen? So I have written here, two things will increase, EQ and SQ. Two things will increase. EQ means our emotional quotient, and SQ means our spiritual quotient. Both will increase. And by doing Satvika karma, our mind is more composed, more peaceful. And this Satvik karma, the benefit of Satvik karma is it gives more punya. This is called Satvik karma. Then what is Rajasic karma? So it's called Rajasic karma. Beneficiaries are less, other beneficiaries are less. And the person who thinks of oneself, selfish, is one person I know here in Porbandar. For him or for his wife, he can order branded everything, but branded shirt, branded shoes, everything. But when there is a marriage was there, so he has given Danam 5 rupees, only 5 rupees. Such is called selfish person, and they concerned about only my family, means their family, old age and home. They never think of society. Its all activity is called Rajasika activity, and in Rajasic activity, spiritual quotient and emotional quotient progress will less. Our less inner composed, mind is less peaceful, and that person incur less punya. While what is tamasic karma? So it says, I am only beneficiaries. Whatever activity that person does, only that person should be beneficiary, and that person never mind to harm others for its own benefit. Such activity is called tamasika. Like Hiranyakashipu, like all terrorists, whatever they are doing for their benefit, they can kill the person, they hurt the person, it's called tamasika. And by performing tamasic activity, spiritual quotient and emotional quotient will go down. It will give our mind agitation, and that person incur papa. So in karma yoga, which karma Bhagavan is referring? Out of 3 karma, which karma a person should follow? Because karmani adhikarahate. We have choice only with regard to karma only. So in karma yoga, to be done, it says only sattvika karma. Even in 12th chapter, it says, if person is rajasika, that karma also can convert into karma yoga. If person is doing activity for family, but whatever activity that person does, if that person thinks I'm doing for Ishvara, and whatever coming profit is from Ishvara, then it can also be considered as yoga only. But still, sattvic karma are more necessary for karma yoga. Then what are the sattvic karma? Now we can ask, in karma yoga, which type of karma considered as a sattvic karma? Then it will come here. It's well known. It says there are 5 karma: Deva Yagnaha, Petru Yagnaha, Rishi or Brahma Yagyaha, Manusha Yagyaha and Bhuta Yagyaha. All Panchamahayagna. And why that Panchamahayagna? It says it's given in Manusmruti, Yagyaval Smruti. In different type of Smruti, these yagnas have been mentioned. But why that all Rishis ask us to perform such yagna? This yagna is not only swaha swaha. But what is the meaning of this yagna? It says we are indebted to these factors. We are indebted to Ishvara. We are Runi. Krutagnaha, to our Ishvara. We are indebted to our Pitru, our forefathers. We are indebted to our scriptures. We are indebted to society. Even we are indebted to our environment. So if they have given so much to us, then our also responsibility to show our gratitude to them. And what we are doing for them considered as a yagna. That's why this 5 yagna has been mentioned in our scriptures. First yagna is called Manushya Deva Yagna. Is called Deva Yagna. And what is Deva Yagna? It says this, our body in this earth possible because of Ishvara's grace. And Bhagavan can give us animal body, Bhagavan can give us any birds, whatever. There are many yonis, but Bhagavan has given this chance in this human body. So we should be grateful to Ishvara. And how can we show our gratitude to Ishvara? So we should give a quality time in prayer. We should give even quality time in chanting. All are called Deva Yagna. This is very famous. I have mentioned one line of Viveka Chudamani. Durlabam trayametad devanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha sanshayam. In this, manushyatvam is rare. And Bhagavan, if he has given us this body, then our responsibility to show our gratitude through japam, through meditation, through puja, through prayer. Whatever we are doing for Ishvara is called Deva Yagnaha. Ishvara Yagnaha, Deva Yagnaha. And it says we should never replace this exclusive time. Sometimes happens, some guests come in our home and we would like to more talk with them. Then first, what we will cut, we will tell to our guest, I will just finish my puja and I'm coming back quickly. So first, we will cut off our puja only. But it says we should never replace our quality time for other things. It's called Deva Yagna. We are indebted to Ishvara. Krutagnata. It's called Yagna. Second thing, it says Pitru Yagna. And what is Pitru Yagna? Pitru means our parents. In our culture, there is no Father Day. In our culture, there is no Mother's Day. Because for us, every day is Father's Day and Mother's Day. Because always we give respect to our elders. That's why it's called Pitru Yagna. And in Taittiriya Upanishad, all elders, Acharya Devo, Atithi Devo, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, why it is written, even if we are doing Deva Yagna, then our parents are as good as Ishvara. We have to respect to our parents. It's called Pitru Yagna. Not after death. Sometime after death, we do different type of activity, but in presence, nobody take care of parents. So if we take care of parents, it's called Pitru Yagna. Even our teachers, our school teachers, our college professors, all are considered as a Pitru elder. And if we have give to due respect to all of them, it's called Pitru Yagna. Nowadays, I don't know in West, but in Gujarat I have seen people have big house. Each room is highly decorated beautifully, but when parents' room comes, there is no decoration, nothing, even no AC. When I went to Dwarika, then one person says, can you come to my home? He is a doctor, well-famous doctor. We went visit his home. It's highly decorated. Interior is very much fine. Everything is good. Then we asked, where is your mother's room? He says, it's upstairs. When we went there, totally nothing was there, even no fan. So it's called what? It is not Pitru Yagna. We are not respect. So it's called Pitru Yagna, to give respect our parents. After we are giving Shraddha Tarpanam is different thing, but while living is the best. It's called Matru Devo Bhava. And third thing is Rushi Yagna. Somebody says Brahma Yagna, somebody says Rushi Yagna. But what is Rushi or Brahma Yagna? To worship our scriptures, our Shastras, our glorious tradition. And what we are doing, and how we can keep alive this tradition by Parayanam, by Gita teaching, by Upanishad, Ramayana, Bhagavatam. Now, during this Shatabhishekam time, Viditatmananji, they have decided this Navratri, Sharadiya Navratri, they are going to celebrate whole Parayana, Upanishad Parayana, Gita Bhashyam Parayana. So all 10 Upanishad, we will do Parayana, Gita Bhashya, we will do Parayana. Then each and every sannyasi has to select one Upanishad, they have to teach. So this type of is called Brahma Yagna, Rushi Yagna. So we are hand over our teaching to others. So the meaning of Rushi Yagna or Brahma Yagna, what we know about our scripture should be handed over to our next generation. It's called Brahma Yagna or Rushi Yagna. Otherwise, how can we survive? How can it can be live? It says in our India, there is a two tradition. One is a Gruhastha and one is sannyasi. Gruhastha also responsible. They can teach whatever is scriptures to their children. Same way in sannyasi can teach their disciples. Both are called Brahma Yajna, and both are responsible to hand over this our glory, this our scripture's glory to next generation. It's called Brahma Yajna. Then fourth one is called Manusha Yajna. And what is Manusha? Means human being. You might have heard this one shloka, Vapi Kup Tadagadi Devata Ayatanani cha Anna Pradanam Arama Purta Karma iti abhidhiyate. For society, if we prepare water resources, and how the meaning of Vapi is one type of water resource is not a well, but it's a steps we have to go inside. Then we can have water. It's called Vapi. Kupa means well. Tadag means pond. Small pond is called Tadaga. If we built small temple, Devata Ayatanan, a temple, to building a temple for society, Anna Pradhanam, to give food to whole society, Anna Pradhanam. When we went to Bangalore, no, just in February, I think, March, we went to Bangalore. In Belud, Shalinji must have known, in Belud, near Belud, in Belud only, that temple, Sringeri's Anna Pradhanam, one setup is there. We went there and they are feeding thousands of people without taking a single money. If you want to give, you can give. There is no restriction. They can have food. We've also said, it is not like sitting on the floor, but they have provided chair and tables to all. A big room, big hall. They keep on telling. It starts from 1 to 3. 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Anybody can, all are welcome. It's called Anna Pradhan. Anna Pradhanam and Aramaha. Nowadays, hotels are available everywhere, even in India also. But before 100 years, even before 60 years, 70 years, no hotels. While pilgrims are going for pilgrimage, there is when they can have rest. So if somebody has gone to Char Dham Yatra, means Badrinath, Kedar, you might have heard the word Chatti, Hanuman Chatti. The meaning of Chatti in Hindi is a small open hole. When these pilgrims, they can cook their food, they can have rest, and they can proceed for their yatra. It's called Aram. To build such buildings for others are called Manusha Yajna. And also nowadays, we can say, we can give to old age home, orphan house, mentally challenged house, even slum children, whatever we can help to society, everything is called Manusha Yajna. We are not alone in this world. We are living together, so we have to help. This is called Manusha Yajna, and last one is called Bhuta Yajna. And the meaning of Bhuta Yajna means except human being, all beings are called as a Bhuta. Here in Tamil, I don't know Bhuta, what is meaning, but in our Gujarat, Bhuta means ghost. But here the meaning is not ghost, but the meaning of Bhuta means beings. So all beings we have to do for all are called Bhuta Yajna. In our society, in our culture, we pour water in people tree. We in Kolam, in South, what all ladies are doing is also called one type of Bhuta. Ants can eat So Bhuta Yagnaha. So whatever we are doing for others except human being are called Bhuta Yagnaha. Even if you have mark or notice, I don't know, but we have many devtas, many devis. Each and every devta and there is a different vahana, vehicle. Like Kartikeya, peacock, then our Mushaka, Ganesha is Mushaka. So why they are keeping different type of vahana? So we can have respect. Even one Devi has crow, is a vahana. So each and every animal, whatever, they are respectful. Even our Narmada has a crocodile. Narmada Devi, his vahana is crocodile. Why they are keeping different type of vehicle? So we can have respect. That's why too. And even you have might heard this Shakuntala is written by Kalidasa. It's written when Shakuntala has gone back to Dushyanta. So all deers, even all creepers, all leaves of all trees become sad. They are starting. Why? Because Shakuntala loves to all. So this type of is called Bhuta Yagna. And even our whole environment are also, if we are doing for environment, is called Bhuta Yagna. To preserve trees, Bhuta Yagna. So all 5 yagna are considered as a sattvic karma, and these 5 yagna are compulsory for Gruhastha. They have to follow. This is called Bhuta Yagna. And if person is following this, that is not burden for society, but that person is a blessing for all. Such a life is a blessing life. And what Pujya Swamiji says, that person becomes a contributor, not mere consumer. If person lives such life, then unknowingly he is a contributor to whole world. It's called Panchamaha Yagnaha. And here only I have mentioned 5. But even after performing these 5 yagna, person is a father or mother, son, daughter, aunt. There are many academic areas. There also they have to follow with some attitude. This is to be done. But their responsibility also, that person has to follow. But how that person has to follow, it will come in yoga part. This we have seen as a karma part. So how to do karma? So I have told the yoga part is, meaning is proper attitude while performing karma, and yoga is proper attitude while receiving the result of karma. And what proper attitude should have while performing karma, then we know everything, but still every day we are doing puja, we are offering flowers to Ishvara, but this is not good enough. Only to offer flowers in front of deity in our altar is not good enough, but it's just beginning. Then puja will start after we are coming out from our puja room. Then whatever karma we are doing for others is like an offering to Ishvara. That attitude is called yoga. So if I'm sleeping, if I'm taking baths, whatever karma I'm doing, not for me, but I'm doing just offering to Ishvara, that thinking is called yoga. So I am doing karma Panchamaha Yagna. Why? This is offering to Ishvara. I am playing a role as a father. I am taking care of my children. Why? This taking care of children is nothing but offering to Ishvara. This thinking is called Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga, I always say, is not particular karma, but Karma Yoga is our bhavana. Karma Yoga is our attitude, proper attitude for each and every karma. So I have mentioned many, everybody knows, yat yat karma karoshi shambhu tavaranta. Whatever I do is nothing but your worship only. Let it be whatever karma. There is a no small karma, there is a no big karma. Karma is karma. Why I am doing? Just for your worship. Even in 9th chapter, Bhagavan will say, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, Yat ashnashi, whatever you eat, Yat juhoshi, whatever you offer, Dadasiyat, whatever you give, Yat tapasyasi, whatever you do tapas, Tad purushvamadarpanam, whatever you do, but when you offered me, then it's called karma yoga. And whatever if we are doing seva is nothing but Ishvara seva. Nara seva is Narayan seva, Manava seva is Madhava seva. Ishvara and human being, Ishvara and other beings are not separate, because we know being abhinna nimitta upadana karana, Ishvara is everything. So whatever I am relating with others, but I am not relating with XYZ, but I am relating with Ishvara. This thinking, it made us karma yogi. That's why, and this attitude is called in our Shankara Bhashyam is Ishwararpana Buddhi. Whatever I am doing is for not anyone else but Ishvara. This thinking, and then our life becomes a contribution. Even personal, no? If we are taking care of parents, we are taking care of family, but why I am taking care of family? Not for my any particular selfishness, but I am taking care. It is given in Shastra. In this, I am also doing seva of Ishvara. This, even taking care of family, becomes a karma yoga. Only matter is what we think in our mind. So Ishvara or Param Buddhi, and that's why Bhagavan has written in 2nd chapter, Yoga Karma Su Kaushalam. The Kaushalam means what is the skill to choose which karma should I do, and while doing karma, what type of disposition should I develop, what bhavana should I develop in my mind. It's called yoga. So yoga means our bhavana while doing with reference to karma is called skillfulness, not any karma. It's called yoga karma su kaushalam. And if some person asks, what is the benefit of doing karma by this bhavana, Ishwararpan Buddhi? So just I was thinking, what would be the benefit? So first benefit will be, there is a no personal raga dvesha. Because whatever I am doing is not for me. What I am doing for Ishvara's arpanam. So our personal raga dvesha, more and less, I am not saying 100% will go, but more or less it will be go. And when it will go, then we will come out the grip of raga dvesha. The clutches, grip becomes out from the grip of raga dvesha. And by doing this karma yoga through our mind, what will happen? We will become akarta. Relatively. Relatively means I am doing karma, but not for myself. I am doing karma for offering Ishvara. So doership will go. And when doership will go, so our attachment will become more and more like asaktaha. It will give asaktaha. And that's why Pujya Swamiji used to say, we are playing roles. I am not role. This all benefit we can have by just performing this bhavana. Karma can be anyone, but this bhavana will give this type of benefit. Our mind will be relaxed by doing some karma. It's called one part. How to do karma. Now, how to receive karma. At the same time, we have to do. Then again, we are doing karma same with proper attitude. We can have choice. Karmani te adhikaraha. In 2nd chapter, Bhagavan is Ma karmani adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. because we don't have any choice with reference to any karma phala. Why? Because whatever action we do, whatever we perform any karma, but we don't know what is in our prarabdha karma. And this prarabdha karma will interact with our this birth karma, and which result will come that we don't know. That's why always Pujya Swamiji used to tell there is a 4 type of karma can come to us: more than expectation, according to our expectation, less than our expectation, and even opposite to our expectation. Any type of karma can come because prarabdha karma plays a major role. We don't know how much punya and papa in our prarabdha karma. And when the result cannot come according to our wish, then that variation of result can give pleasure and pain. They can dukkha, they can give sukha. And this sukha dukkha gives our mind, can disturb our mind. Not only pain can disturb our mind, even more happiness can be disturb our mind. Because in happiness also, we are not in our control. Same time, in pain also, we are not under control. That's why both pleasure and pain can disturb our mind, and our mind can be agitated. So what to do to keep our mind balanced? That's why that what Pujya Swami says and what Shankaracharya ji says, whatever karma comes from prasada, we never argue. If we go to temple, sometimes priest is happy, can give laddu. If priest is unhappy, everything is depend on priest only. Na? So if priest is happy, can give laddu. If priest is unhappy, can charanamrutam. Whatever comes, but we are happy, this is coming from Ishvara. That's why it's called prasada buddhi. Same way, our result of karma comes from Ishvara only. No? If comes from Ishvara, then we have to develop bhavana in our mind. Whatever comes is prasada. In prasada temple, we don't have any type of complaint. At the same way, whatever comes from Ishvara, we should not have any complaint because it is coming from Ishvara. This attitude is also, if we have called, is samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga means attitude, but which attitude? Samatvam, balance. And how can we keep our mind balanced? By simple this thinking, this proper attitude, whatever comes, it must be good for me. It may be seeming unfavorable to me sometime, but still after some years, if we look back, must be is good for us only. If we start thinking like this, then it's called prasada buddhi. And more, if our minds ready to accept karma phala, action, result of any action is a prasada, then our mind have no complaint. And that is called samatva yoga uchyate. Is a balanced yoga uchyate, another part of karma yoga. Samatvam, and one part of karma yoga is karma sukhaushan, both parts. And same thing Bhagavan will tell in 5th chapter, 10th verse, same thing. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yah. Yah karoti, a person who performs karmani, all karma, but how? Brahmani adhaya, Parmeshware adhaya, having given to everything to Ishvara, and sangam tyaktva, having given up all type of attachment like raga dvesha. That person papena na lipyate. That person never be attached. Lipyate is not tanked by any type of papa. Padmapatra evambhasa. This is our second part, how to receive a karma. then person will ask, what is the benefit to develop this type of prasada buddhi in our mind? So these are the benefits. Our mind remains balanced in any situation, whether it is good for us and sometimes it is not good for us. And another main benefit of this karma yoga is we will come out from this enjoyership by doing karma part of karta, but by receiving prasada buddhi of bhokta. And third one, we are preparing ourselves from growing out of punya papa. I am not interested in punya papa. I am just doing karma as a duty. It is given. Then we are not concerned with punya papa. These all are benefit. And if we start thinking like this is called chitta shuddhi only. Because no kartrutva, no bhoktrutva, no raga, no dveshaha, mind is free and it's called chitta shuddhi. This is the benefit of karma yoga. And that's why Bhagavan says, karma yoga arabhyate. Oh, still is there. Now we will see. That's why Bhagavan has said, yatu indriyani manasa niyamya karme indriya arabhya. It is more challenging. Saha vishishyate. That's why that person is more superior, is far better than who is idle. Mere sannyasanat, having taken sannyas and sitting inside the cave, it is not good. That Bhagavan has said. More detail we will see next week. Any question? Unmute mode.
Swaminiji,
Yes.
when you explained our mind is anatma, like when we say, when we are working, we are supposed to have a control on the sense organs and use our karmendriyas to act for whatever duty we have. But when we, like, what does it actually mean? Like when we are sitting and doing any kind of action, if we are not using our karmendriyas, like hands and legs, many of our, I didn't understand that, like, because many of our duties may not need karmendriyas. We may need our mind and intellect to do our actions. So is that inferior, or is, I don't know. I didn't understand.
No, that's why I have told, no, we are not doing only action with through our physical body. We are doing action also through mind also. So whatever we are thinking through mind also, do offer to Ishvara.
Okay. So our mind is anatma. So our intellect is also anatma, correct?
Correct.
So, but we have to use this anatma to understand atma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So bottom line, I feel it's just the attitude.
Yeah. Attitude only.
Okay. Because many of our actions like needs us for us to sit down and think or read or write. All this, we are not using karmendriyas a lot.
Like electricity is separate, and fan is different, AC is different, same way consciousness is different. This, our body is different. Electricity is just make life to all whatever gadget we are using. Same way this consciousness makes life this body. So we are not body. Because of consciousness, mind can think. Because of consciousness, tongue can speak. Because of consciousness, body can work. But because of consciousness, we are consciousness. We are not body, mind, sense complex. This is the crux. Shall we do Purnamada Purnamida? Because I have to go to Ahmedabad. Right now, our auto is everything is ready. Bus is waiting. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I will send some photographs again. There's some Abhishek and some Homa to you.
What Upanishad are you teaching, Swamiji? Mandukya?
Actually, I have selected Chandogya Upanishad, 6, 7, 8 chapter. Then Swamiji says, I will take this chapter and you don't teach. So we did So I said that I have given this Upasana, this 6, 7, 8, 9 Gita's middle part to teach. So I'm going to teach middle part of it.
Dhyana Yoga.
Yeah, Ishvara Swarupa. This main Jiva Swarupa, right now we are learning. The middle part is Ishvara Swarupa, the nature of Ishvara. There's Upasana Yoga also. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Swami.
Okay.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om.
Hari
Hari Om.